Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Simply Living in a Small Town. Today is Tuesday already again, and I've been gone far too long. Sorry about that. um, it's literally been crazy since last week, and I've meant to do a video a couple of times, and then it just didn't work out to where, it got too late in the day, and by that point, I was too basically exhausted and worn out. So I apologize for that. Um, I want to say I appreciate everyone that's watching this video and all my any of my videos. So I'm trying to think. Friday we went to get my daughter. I worked on some stuff here, and then we went to get her, and that was later in the day. But I did work on something I was going to show you on Friday and didn't get that done. So I made this hat, this little bucket hat. So I did this um, off the pattern from Hirschner's. It's a breezy bucket hat. And I did it last year, and I did a horrible job on the one I did previously because I was not used to, like, I'd never made one before, and I was still, like, not used to the whole making hats and how that works, kind of. So yeah, that one didn't turn out near as good as I think this one did. This is Premier Home Cotton in the colorway Water Lilies. And I just think this turned out so cute. I love it. It this one actually fits like it's supposed to. I don't know if you remember, if you've been watching last year, the other one turned out um, way bigger, too big. And I couldn't figure out why. And I'm not even certain what I did wrong with that one exactly, to be honest. But the pattern itself is fine. The only thing is it has you like turn every row, and I feel that that's completely unnecessary. So the next one I make, now that I kind of went through that, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's right. Like, I won't be turning every row, but that's what this pattern for this had you do. So that is what I did. And like I said, I love how it turned out. It's really cute. So I'm happy with this. But y'all, virtually, besides this hat, I got nothing else done, like actually finished last week. I cannot remember. This is like, it's been so crazy. Thursday, Thursday, I kind of was planning on doing a video, but then I just worked doing things all day around here. And then, like I said, Friday, we went and got my daughter, and we went later in the day, and like by then I was already wore out. I just, ever since autoimmune disease has like reared its head, I have been, it's hard for me to travel and like later in the day like that, and to drive almost an hour one way, and and then an hour back, and then whatever in between there stops, and it just wears me out. And I had worked on stuff earlier that day. I kind of took it easy. I worked on this hat, but I mostly took it easy on Friday. I know Thursday I worked on quite a bit of stuff. And then Saturday, I like literally cleaned all day. My husband worked, so he wasn't home. He was home on Friday because he actually took PTO for Friday and then yesterday. So it's also why I didn't come back and do a video, because we've been all over the place. But um, yeah, so he actually then worked Saturday. So he was gone, and I just cleaned, like I cleaned all day. And y'all, I still got a lot to go, but I've been cleaning up stuff out of this room that I does not belong in here, and is not going to stay in here basically. I mean, we have clothes in here and stuff, like it's, you know, we don't live out of this room at all. It's just that it ends up being a dumping ground, unfortunately. So, so like when we go do the laundry, for instance, we have to bring it out of the building to go to the laundromat and take it and bring it back. And it seems, it'll get done, but then the stuff gets brought back into here, even though in this room, even though it does not go here, it goes upstairs. So, yeah, so I've been sitting. I was sitting and folding laundry. I just kind of was relaxing the other day doing that on Saturday, folding the laundry and trying to get as much of that put into baskets and taken upstairs. And I've still got, well, I've got everything folded, but I've got to finish because there was more than a basket. And plus, there was stuff already in here from this winter. So I'm just trying to clean out like all the winter stuff, all the clothes, all the nonsense that doesn't belong in here. And so, yeah, and then I worked on some other things that day too, as far as cleaning. Like, it's just a lot. And it's like nice. The weather is that is anyway. It's nicer, and like my body feels, mostly better. Than winter is very extremely hard on me. Just to be able to feel like doing anything, and I try to push through and do things, but there are just days where I can't do a whole lot. It's like I have to just do whatever is necessary for that day sometimes and just move on. Like, but so that was Saturday, and then Sunday. I'm trying to think what we did Sunday. I will remember whatever probably after this video, because that's how it generally always works. Trying to think. Oh, I I took it easy Sunday because because I was exhausted from Saturday. And then my daughter and my husband went to a park to do this. They play Pokemon Go. And so they went to a thing to play that with other people, basically, type of a thing. And they enjoyed that. So I stayed here. That was in the evening. That's why I can't remember what happened, but I was just taking it easy that day. And, my husband really wanted me to go, and I was just like, and it's not that I do enjoy going. I do love to, like, go and especially sit in a park and that. But again, I was tired, and it was in the evening, and it's just the ride there, the ride back, and all that's very, like, a lot. And so the other reason, though, I didn't do that too was because, so yesterday morning I had to get up early. We had to get up early and get going early because my husband had a doctor appointment. And so yesterday I was intent to do a video yesterday, but I didn't end up doing it because, oh my gosh, what another day that was like, it was great, but it was exhausting because we left around 10 in the morning, didn't get home till around 9 o'clock last night. And then my husband's like, can't figure out why myself and my daughter are just like, we're wiped out and exhausted. He's like, I don't know why you didn't really do anything. And I'm like, for me, riding in the car alone, again, we rode in the car for, an hour. Not initially, but on the way back we did, because we went to his doctor appointment. We had to run a couple other errands down there, and this was like 30 minutes away. Then we drove another, I think that's another 30 minutes probably. Well, yeah, it was another 30 minutes we went to a restaurant in Western Hills, which is it's an area basically of the west side of Cincinnati, Ohio. So we went and ate. at this La Rosa's because that's where I wanted to eat. I just threw that out there, and I was like really wanted to eat there. So we hadn't been there for some time. My husband and I go to that location like I don't know, once or twice a year or something. My daughter couldn't remember going there even though she's been there, so it had been a while. And then redid the they redid the building and stuff somewhat, so it was really even nicer like than before. And so we basically just like took our time eating. Like we pigged out, y'all, like which was good because I haven't hadn't hardly honestly haven't been eating a whole lot again because of my tooth. It still needs pulled. I have an appointment for that for next week to go in and have it x-rayed because this place is close to me, but they do not do emergency extractions, which is not surprising. Basically, there are not that many dentists around us here that are local, and no place does emergency extractions. So I'm going in to have it x-rayed come next Monday, and then, there'll be an appointment after that, of course, to get it pulled. So that's kind of a pain, but it just, you know, it's the area that we live in. So, so yeah, I haven't been eating much because of that, because it's hard. I have to chew like only on this side because the one that needs pulled is right over here. So yeah, that's just been frustrating. I'll be so glad when like yeah, like next week getting it out of my mouth. So but we picked out yesterday, and I just have to like sit there and eat slower. I wasn't even thinking about the food I was eating, even though some stuff is extremely difficult for me to eat right now because again, I have to chew on one side. So it's like if it's something really crunchy, that's kind of, I don't know, it's harder to do basically. But I just sat there and took my time, and we all did, and that was great. We really enjoyed that, and it was relaxing, so that was fantastic. And that was like way overdue. We usually try to go out to eat once a week, and when I say that, um, that's usually like either me and my husband, or um, the three of us. So, um, but then usually I pick her up something because one of those weeks, she's usually going to her dad's. So then I just pick her up or us up something on the way or whatever. We stop and eat or something. So, um, but yeah, we hadn't done that for some time. Anyway, outside of like, we've gotten a sandwich from Subway up the street here. So that's not the same as like going in a restaurant and sitting down and eating together. So we were way overdue for that. So that was great. And then we went to my mother in law's, and we basically hung out there for quite a long while because we hadn't been up there for quite a while. Um, yeah, I think since like Christmas. So there was that. And then, like I said, we didn't get home till about 9 o'clock. So it was tiring. Now, the reason I'm picking this up is because I'm actually just going to go ahead and frog this. I'm going to frog this, and I'm going to frog. So this is this top I started for my daughter last summer. And I mean, I think it could actually work. I was trying it earlier on, but I don't know. It looks awfully small to me, even though I think technically she could get it on. And obviously she had to wear something under it anyway. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and frog this out too. I have been working on cleaning up yarn today. If you know, you know. Like it's like when you start, um, when you crochet all the time or stuff, you get in the zone and you're doing it, and you're just laying stuff here and there by where you're sitting doing it, which is what I do. And then I have to take like part of a day or a day here, parts of whatnot, or a whole day to sit off and on and clean, like to clean it all up. So yeah, I had laid this stuff out because I'm like, I'm gonna frog these. Um, I had already frogged that one, like, I want to say chevron type blanket that I started I don't know, a couple of months ago. I just didn't like the colors together in that, so I frogged that. So hopefully I'm not gonna mess myself up here. But yeah, it's like, I go through that, like, it's usually about every couple weeks. I crochet, 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 and I'm throwing stuff wherever. And then about, 2 weeks go by, and then I'm just like, I can't stand this, and I have got to, like, fully clean this up, not just, pitching as I go type of thing or whatever, like putting stuff, somewhere, like actually cleaning it up. So I did put, oh, I had, so the recent stuff that I had been working on, for instance, I had put in another bag, another like whip bag. Well, the one I was already using, like, there wasn't that much in it, but I had thrown a bunch of stuff I had thrown on top in that bag that was just stuff like I picked up and just pitched in the top of the bag. So I did all that, cleaned all that out this morning, like both bags. I cleaned the original one up to consolidate then what I had put that I started in another bag. And so, which this was one of the things, like I had, because I have a cone like this of this same yarn from Premier. This is also Premier Home Cotton. So yeah, there was that. I've just been like so busy all day, and I'm like, I already said I have to make a video tomorrow, which is like today. I'm so off a day, y'all. I kept thinking earlier today, I'm like, this is Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday. Like, I'm still messed up. Like, no, it's Tuesday. But yeah, and then, it's like, again, I have like a sweet spot in my day where, like, I feel good between these hours most genuinely. It's like early afternoon to about 4-ish. We are past that now. Like, and that it's like now like, it's like a battery that's charged up, and it starts getting depleted, and by a certain point it's ready to just die, and that's like like it's gonna quit. And that's like how I am, because it's like at a certain point then in the evening I just start feeling drained, usually by 5-6 o'clock. Like, I'm just feeling, I'm drained, I'm like done for the day. But then, I think about it, and I think, because I'm one of these, I've always been really hard on myself. I grew up in an environment where those I was around were very hard on me. So naturally then I became that way in regards to myself, which is not really good. I mean, um but I don't do that as badly anymore. However, I go, I like, I feel aggravated at times because I'm like, my body is my body is giving up. And I wanted to get this and this done. So, but then, when I think about it, I think from the time I get up in the morning, y'all, like, a lot of days, and I'm still getting up like early enough that, like, I'm starting out doing whatever around 8-9 o'clock in the morning. And then I think about what all I've done, and I think, well, I've already, no wonder, like, my body's worn out. I've already, like, worked an entire day of work. Like, technically, I've already done an entire day's worth of work, in other words. So, I try to focus on, you know, doing better at taking care of myself. And that's why, like, I'll have a day where I really work and, I mean, do like a lot. And then the next day, I'm going to, you know, or the next 2 or 3 days, whatever it, however that may feel like that my body needs the, just the rest, Um, I like, because, my pain is like when I'm up on my legs and it's either walking or standing. That's a lot. It's really hard anymore. Like, and I love to walk and I love to stand up, but my body doesn't. So, um, I just have to be, careful with what I'm doing. So I think really the truth is we all should, but to some extent, but especially all the things that I know medically now, I'm like, oh my gosh, they didn't teach me that in school. Um, it's like when you're researching your own medical conditions and things that, and you're like, oh, well, I've just been like that my whole life. I thought that was normal. Like, no. um, like my Raynaud's, that's an example of what I'm talking about. I always had, my hands would feel like super like freezing in the winter. Just thought that was normal. My hands and feet would feel like that. And they just literally feel like ice cubes. But, it was a sign of something that I didn't know. So, but yeah, I am trying to get, I got to take this pause. That's what's the hardest thing. It's like the idea of like just keep crocheting, crocheting, crocheting is like, I like that. I like to just keep motion going. But, as with pretty much anything else, it's like when you're in the rhythm, like just, keep going. It's like it kind of helps you to keep going. Feels like, feels good, like you're accomplishing something. But, it's necessary though to take those days to stop and clean up the messes too. So, um, because I can't stand. It's like I it getting to a certain point that where I'm just then I'm getting stressed looking at it. It's like that kind of a thing. I don't want that. So I do need to get in this box. So I still have a box in here for Mary Maxim, and I still have a Premier box in here. And I need to look because I think the yarn for that purple sweater that I'm making out of the I Love This yarn, that's from Hobby Lobby, the yarn. Um, I think I may have stuck that skein in the Mary Maxim box. So I gotta look because I just realized that the other day and I thought, oh, I bet you I stuck that in there. So I need to look in there because I'm like, where did that other skeiny yarn go? And then there's some other frustration. I really wanted to stop at Hobby Lobby to get the yarn for the blanket that I'm working on, the pastel blanket that I showed y'all last week. And we drove right past it yesterday, and I'm just like, ah. We went right past that and Michael's, so it's fine. My daughter and I feel that this is like, I just think it's like my daughter and I need to take a road trip here shortly and just, you know, stop. So we didn't do it originally. I was planning on Sunday, and then you know what? I was so tired. I was planning on it Sunday because we went through Florence, Kentucky, and could have went to Hobby Lobby there. And I had like, I was so worn out that I totally spaced it and forgot until we were like already back in Indiana. And then I was like, ah. And y'all, my brain is so all over the place because I have way too much all the time. That's just, so, it is what it is. It's fine. I told my daughter, I was like, we need to run to some places anyway, like, in other words, without my husband's. It is summer vacation and like we have the time. So yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I it's like stuff like that. I don't even know where my mind was, but then I get like that when I get so exhausted. My mind's just like I'm just asleep at the switch, literally. So, and then I'm still like trying. Not only am I trying to clean stuff up around here, I'm still trying to go through things that were um, either already here, well, that were also things that I owned, or things that I salvaged from my house that burnt down. So I'm still doing that, and I still got stuff like I'm wanting to put like a bunch of stuff just out in my yard literally for free. We live on the highway, and yeah, I mean, I did put some things out already. I have been putting some things out, but I really just want to put like a whole bunch of stuff out for free, to be honest. And then, like, that's the easiest way, and then, you know, hopefully somebody takes whatever if they can use it, like, go to it, like. So if you've recently started watching, I've explained this before, but we live in a commercial building. This building was built by my grandpa. He had a television and appliance store in here, and for a very long time, because that was from 1955. This is when the building was built, till he retired in 2000. So it was a very long time. But our front yard is probably, I mean, it's barely a yard, y'all. And then there's the highway. Like, there's probably, I don't think even, mm, I would be surprised if that's even like 10 feet or something between our front door and the highway. It's that close. So, like just now, a semi went by. So if you're hearing all that traffic, that was my point about this. So if you're noticing all this traffic, the noise from the traffic, that is why. And I apologize for that. But it's like there's nothing I can do about it because we literally live right on top of a highway. Which I will say is like the worst part about being here. We are on the edge of town, so like we are not like right down the street here, like not even like a block. There, the town sidewalk starts, where there's sidewalks down both sides um, of the street. But like we are literally like so far down this way to the south. There's no sidewalks, okay? The sidewalks end up there, like. So I love that part, meaning that you do not have, because we had this over at my other property, sidewalk right out in front of my property. And I mean, I don't care about people walking by, that's fine as long as they're not doing something. But like there was all kind of things that like then people did do, if you know what I'm saying. So I like the fact that, like, if, like, for instance, if I see somebody literally walk past my huge windows here, I know that they have made a point to walk over here to do that. So, yeah. But, the only thing I don't love is the noise of the traffic. So, um, but it is what it is. So, I can't really, can't really change that. But and sometimes the days and or certain days is better than others. Like when it's a rainy day, y'all, that there's not as much traffic. And I think it's because a lot of people are like, no, I'm just gonna stay home today. It's pouring down rain again. Like, and speaking of rain, it is supposed to rain. It was supposed to rain tomorrow and like the next 3 or 4 days. Now it's not saying rain tomorrow, it's saying rain Thursday and Friday and next Monday. So, of course, it can always change between now and then. So, I'm really hoping not, except for, like now it's finally starting to actually like heat up here. It's 80 something degrees today, and you can really feel the humidity. So, I actually had to turn air conditioner on today because I'm like, it's really humid and hot. So, but we haven't, it hasn't been like that. I mean, it was for like a week. That's been like a month ago. So, we've had a lot of rainy, um, like 70-degree days or 60 something. And so yeah, it's a beautiful sunshiny day today. And I mean, I love that. I'm not complaining about it at all. But there is supposed to be more rain coming. So we shall see about that. Like I said, that's always subject to change. And in Indiana, it's like, it could rain and snow and be sunny all in the same, like in the same day. So, I mean, I've literally seen it. So, you just never know about that. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I get on here doing video. I'm still somewhat sick, but my nose is really like it itches. It's just like allergies. But I'm still having sinus issues. I took my antibiotics, so I'm definitely doing a lot better, but that was another thing, like, because that was making me sleepy, but I am feeling quite a bit better. So I mean, that is good. I'm just still not like completely over it. I didn't think this would take this long to frog this. Uh, I'm trying not to pull too much out though to get it. I don't want to get it all tangled up. You know, I've had, trust me, I've only done that how many times where you like frog it out and then you have so much of it laying here in a pile and then it literally gets tangled up on itself and oh, that drives me crazy. Oh, I do have to show y'all that I started, which I'll show y'all this tomorrow. I started panel 2 for that rainbow top. And I actually think I got to check that on her. But I was telling my daughter because I originally I made the front panel too small anyway. But I think that I am just going to, finish that and give that to her. Make it a top for her, my daughter. So I think it'd be super cute on her. She's all into rainbow stuff. Like, but I thought since I made it, like, as small as it is, but, um, then I could actually have it done before too long. I'm surprised, like, actually, I've gotten pretty decent at moving along on that. Now, yesterday when we were going down the road, that was another thing. See, I wish I need more stuff to work on, so I'm gonna have to dig some things out because whip wise. Um, Because I took that with me yesterday, that top, and I did work on it. And I did add, I don't know, probably another 10 rows on it or something. So, like, which was really good because I have sat and done just a little on today. And when I say that, I've only added like, I think about 3 or 4 rows maybe today. So, because I've just been working on, other stuff basically. So, I'm going to try to, I want to get, yes, this put back up. I still have yarn in my chair. Not that much. So, I've actually almost got stuff cleaned up that I hate frogging, in a way. Like, but I'm like, it's okay to start again. I am going to bring this down to here, I think, for right now. Well, like that. Because I just want to look at the bottom of this before I frog that out. So, anyway. But yeah, I gotta get, and then this has been, since she's been out of school. So she's been out of school, yeah, like a week and a half. It's like the routine has changed, and that's got me messed up too. Oh, so that's a whole nother thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap this. Oh, I was looking at this yarn, and it says it was $1.49 at Kmart. This. Karen Gold Sayel. But yeah, I'm out of, like, it's like, in other words, like the routine has changed, and it's one of them things. I'm probably going to be messed up all summer like I was, because it's like I don't adjust to change like very quickly. And then, before I know it, it'll be time for her to go back to school. So, that's what, that was the other thing on Friday that happened. So we went to get her, but originally I was planning on, because my husband I knew he was going to be off, I was planning to go to the beach near us. Well, we didn't end up doing that. First of all, my daughter was at her dad's, but it rained all day. That's why I couldn't remember. I'm like, no, wait. But yeah. And I had said to my daughter, I was like, well, yeah, we were supposed to go to the beach today, because she didn't know about it. I said that was what I was planning, but then it turned around and rained all day. And she's like, well, then it worked out anyway. I'm like, because she was at her dad's, and I was like, that's why she was saying that. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, so it's just as well that we didn't try to do that today. Yeah, so that's, I don't think, let's see, Saturday, I can't remember if it did rain or not, but we had, well, I will say yes, that was another thing, though. We did have a lot of rain last week in general. It rained days, like off and on, like most of last week. And that was dragging me down, y'all. I was trying to push through it, but I was getting to a point where it was really dragging me down, and I'm like, I just want to go to bed and take a nap. Like, it's just like it was so gloomy, you know? I mean, it's like I can only handle so many days of like the gloominess. So, yeah, I had forgot about that, but it was true. It rained most of last week, so I hope the weather is great where you're at. Let me know what the weather is like where you're at. Actually, I'm hearing that a lot of people are saying they're just still getting rain, so I mean, we're not the only ones. I think it's kind of clear across the country type of a thing, off and on. And oh, and the thunderstorms, because I can't remember um, when it, that might have been the week before last, but I think it happened last week too. We had yeah, we had thunderstorms like overnight. I say that actually, it did rain overnight too. Was it like, I want to say maybe that's either Friday or Saturday night, but it's got up the next morning, and it had rained. Which, I mean, I knew it was supposed to rain. I check the weather constantly, like, so that I can kind of plan my days and know if it's supposed to. And of course, I keep checking it off and on the weather, but like overnight or something, because we'll leave if it's gonna be nice, like we'll just leave the windows open upstairs. But obviously that's like if it's supposed to rain, we close them. I'm not gonna leave the windows open. So, but let me know what y'all are working on or what you're doing, or are you into the summer mode, or what are you working on? Tomorrow is Wednesday, so I have that top to show you. I don't know what else. I'm wanting to start another top for my daughter too. So I was looking at doing that. Uh-oh, we're stuck. We're stuck. The yarn. Oh, okay. I thought I was going to have to pull hard, but look how kinky this yarn is. um, yeah, it's been like this for a long time. So that's like crocheted up. Um, I was thinking something. Oh, anyway, I have that top to show you. Yeah, I was going to start another top for Ava. So I was looking at starting that. And I don't know. My mind is, I don't know, is all over the place. So what I really want to do, I need to pull out some other stuff whips that I already have and finish. I do have one, but it's under, I still got to clean this tote up by my chair here. It's now stacked up worse because stuff fell in like beside my chair. The cat's knocked off. So then I picked all that up and it's on top of that tote. So I've got to get all that cleaned off because that's driving me crazy. But I need in that tote, because I know there's a whip in there. And then there's also yarn in there. And I don't remember what all's even in there. And it's only like halfway full, the tote. Oh, and speaking of totes, so I already had this plan to get this room like highly cleaned up. So I was telling my husband the other day, I said, well, yeah, that I was planning on getting this room seriously cleaned up, was waiting for Ava to get out of school. And I told him, I said, that's why I ordered 8 totes from Walmart. So the totes were delivered yesterday while we were gone. So I just got them out this morning out of the box. So it's like, that was my plan, to start, throwing stuff in totes and whatnot. Like stuff that needs to be packed up to go upstairs and type stuff. So, like the clothes and that, because there's more clothes in here than like 2 laundry baskets full of clothes. So, So yeah, that was basically my plan. Was I got the totes to start cleaning all this out. So I have got to work on that yet too, but got stuck again. So I will see you in the next one. And I hope you have a great day or a great evening whenever you're watching this. I hope you're having a great week so far. I mean, we're only into Tuesday, so we're not even halfway through the week yet. So, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it so very much. Thank you so much. Until next time, I will see you. Bye now, and God bless.